Last night, we introduced you to Philip Cruz, a South Dakota rancher still dealing with the aftermath of October's catastrophic blizzard.
Tonight, in part 2 of his series, Disaster on the Plains, Brendyn Medina takes a closer look at how the Cruzes have struggled to bounce back from losing more than 50% of their livestock in that blizzard, and just what's on the road to recovery for South Dakota's ranching families who were impacted by the storm.
That ongoing, constant hit of more death and was just really overwhelming, and the emotional toll of that was really very devastating for many of our families, and that's something I think that's going to take a long time to get over.
October's blizzard was one that dealt catastrophic losses to livestock producers across the Midwest. With tens of thousands of cattle now dead, many western South Dakota ranchers were left clamoring for answers.
You know, at that time the government was shut down, and so there was no help really from the government. There still hasn't, but it sounds like there will be.
With a stalled government and no renewed farm bill to offer affected producers any assistance, a collection of small, unsolicited donations became a turning point in the recovery process.
Of all the calls I was answering in the days after the storm and all I was doing to try to help the ranchers, the idea of having people send us money seemed just bizarre at first. And then I realized that if people were going to send money, we needed to make sure it was handled properly, so we decided to set up this account.
That account would come to be known as the Ranchers Relief Fund.
And the money has just come in from everywhere, literally every state in the country and several foreign countries. I never imagined that we would have enough money in that fund to really truly make a difference for anyone.
I'm just amazed at the kindness and the generosity. It really humbles me to realize that these people do care and they are there to help you.
Now, 7 months and nearly $5.5 million later, the Ranchers Relief Fund has dispersed money to more than 600 ranch families affected by the October blizzard. For many, those funds were enough to stop the bleeding in the aftermath of the storm, but as the Midwest makes its way through the spring months, new calves born to the South Dakota plains offer up signs of hope that a real, permanent recovery isn't as far off as it may have seemed 7 months ago.
It's been actually a fairly good calving year. It's been fairly mild spring, and that's good to see.
There's a lot of memories left, I know, with a lot of people, and the spring has helped that a lot. All the new calves hitting the ground now is putting us well on our way to recovery for those families. There's new life there. There's a new opportunity to raise some of those animals into new producing mother cows. But really the recovery at this point, I think, is largely going to be on those individual ranches and depend a lot on those ranch families to just put in the hard work and the time that it's going to take to rebuild their herds.
Oh, we'll definitely recover. It'll take a while to get back to where I was, absolutely. It's amazing how people do come together when there's a disaster and pitch in to help. And that does mean a lot. Absolutely does mean a lot.
The final round of distribution for the Ranchers Relief Fund takes place this week, and the account will close on June 1st. The South Dakota Stock Growers Association says from there, donations will be referred to community organizations who are still assisting ranch families in their recovery.